Hello there. Welcome back to Empower Your Soul podcast. I am here today with a Q&A day. So I have some incoming questions from social media, from my incoming inbox, and I wanted to take a minute to answer some of these. And I might go down the rabbit hole, so I'm so sorry about that. If you have questions you want to submit to me, toss them on the socials, but it's even better if you head to my website and click on the Empower Your Soul, and there's a form on there, because then it goes right to my inbox. And then when I get time to do these listener Q&A recordings, I can just zip right through. And honestly, any question is great. So the first question comes from Joey over on YouTube. And he says, "Medium Nicole, I love the videos, especially the short ones with the Q&A. You live in America, right?" Yes, Joey, I do. I'm outside of Boston. He lives in the Netherlands, where they have euthanasia. He asked if I know what that is and what's my opinion on it. So this is assisted suicide for diseased people and old people, as he writes in the question. And I have to say, Joey, I'm going to get right to the point. I am 100% supportive of assisted euthanasia. I am 100% supportive of how people choose to and when to end their own lives. And I think for me, I know there's a lot of implications that go with it. I think I could very easily, and I think a lot of people judge people for making the decision to try to unalive themselves, remove themselves from this planet, move into the spirit world, maybe before they could or should. But for me, every decision we don't make in a bubble. We're making our own decisions. And I think it's really easy to judge somebody for their decisions, but I'm not going to judge. And instead, I'm going to come at this from a very loving perspective. And I have no doubt that no matter how people go, if they take their own lives, and that's probably not the right way to say it. So apologies if I'm triggering anybody, but I based on my readings that I have given my clients and what I know about assisted suicide, I know that 99.9% of them who make this decision do not make this decision lightly. They have tried lots of avenues. They have tried getting help, professional help. They really feel like there's no other choice. And to me, my heart goes out to them. And I think that with all of them, they take full responsibility of what happened, why they did it, how they did it. And my heart goes out to them that I could not help them, or that they came from the perspective of there was nothing else they could do. So I don't want to put additional judgment, guilt on top of them for probably a very difficult decision that they've decided to make for themselves. I would love if everyone was surrounded by loving kindness, health, amazing life, supportive life, but I know that's not the reality here. I know that some people can't handle it. So I 100% support euthanasia, because you're allowing people to make a very difficult decision, but do it in what's the right word I want to use? Do it in an ethical way. Oh, that's probably the wrong word too. Do it in a way that they're walking into knowing exactly what's going to happen. They're feeling safe. They're feeling like they are supported, and they're choosing to make this difficult decision, but they get to walk into it knowing exactly what's going to happen, how's it going to happen, who's going to be there, etc. So I love that we're giving people and respecting people's free will and their choices, and we're giving them a graceful way to make that choice. So yeah, I think that's my perspective, Joey. And I sincerely apologize if this response triggers anybody. I'm not responsible for your feelings, but I want to apologize because this is my perspective. And I don't want you to feel like I'm judging any of you or any of your loved ones at all. And I know this is a very simple answer for a very complicated topic, and my heart goes out to any of you who are listening who have been through this very difficult circumstance, or been on the receiving end, or had family or friends who have decided to do this. So my heart goes out to you. I don't want to minimize the impact these decisions make on people, but the reality is that some people across lives want to end theirs early, and I want to give them a graceful way to make that decision. So that's why I'm supportive of this. Oh, there goes half my listeners. I'm sorry. So sorry, it's my opinion. It's my opinion. And by the way, no matter how you pass, you are loved and fully accepted in the spirit world. So that to me like eliminates the judgment factor. So I guess that's where my perspective is coming from. Oh God, can't wait for that hate mail. Second one, here comes some more hate mail. Sorry. Eli, not that you sent me anything hateful, Eli, but he sent me an email about getting certified as a medium. So I'm not going to read the whole thing, but he starts out by saying, "Hello, Nicole, your videos help me so much. So I want to help you in return. I research spirituality, and these two organizations are some of my most precious findings." And he points to the Forever Family Foundation and the Windbridge Institute. Both of these institutions do screenings, including testing and certification of mediums, and gather them in their database of professionals. These databases are available on their web page along with contact information for everyone to see. So if he goes on to say, if you manage to get certified by them, then, you essentially are viewed as a validated medium, and you're going to get a lot more business that comes in as a result of that. So Eli, yes, you're right. 100% you are right that it is, I'm going to say, an honor to get certified by these institutions. And by the way, I lean towards the Windbridge Institute just because I love that they're coming at things from a scientific perspective. And for those of you that are unfamiliar, they essentially test mediums for the purpose of like scientifically understanding, proving this stuff is real using data and evidence, right? Like, and using science, which I love. I would love to get tested and certified by them. However, they no longer do that, unfortunately. I will keep my eye out in case they open that screening back up again, but I wouldn't go to be certified. I would go to further the mission of the organization. So I guess I want to say it that way. It's not because I want that badge of certification. It's because I believe in what they're doing, and I want to be able to support them in any way that I could. But I think it's an interesting topic because I do agree that having these certification badges is very helpful, but also it's problematic. So I hope Eli, you know that I love your email. I love the positive intention in helping me further my business, getting viewed by many people and continuing. So I love that. But here's kind of the problem I have with certifications in general. Number one, we're talking to dead people. What are we certifying? Like, what are we? And I have this problem with all of this stuff because certificates and certifications to me are always, in my weird brain, external proof that you've learned something. Why do we need a physical piece of paper that we've learned something or that we prove what we can do? And I say this ironically as I'm sitting here and I have certifications above my computer right here from my business days, but they're framed and they're pretty and I hang them on the wall, right? But it doesn't mean anything because certifications are just a piece of paper and the value and the proof comes with doing the work. And I know that in this instance, you're not going to get certified if you don't do the work from these institutes, but I always have a problem with certifications. And so this is just a me thing. If your class has a certificate that comes at the end of it, I don't want to take it. I don't. Why? Why do I need to give you a piece of paper to tell you that you've learned something? All right, I'll give you a piece of paper if you've come to my classes, if that makes you feel good. But I want you more so to internally feel the validation yourself that you've learned something, that you feel like you're credible, that you have done the work, and you should be proud of yourself. And you should never need an external certificate piece of paper that says, good job, here's your pat on the back, right? So like that's my number one problem with certifications in general is that I don't need to prove myself to you or to anyone else. I know what I can do. And I know from my clients, I know from my videos, and I understand that a lot of people are skeptical of this work and seeing my name on a list, surrounded by other very prominent mediums is probably like pretty cool and pretty validating for you as a skeptic. But you got to trust. That's the whole freaking point of this work is you got to trust that this is real, right? So I don't know. I shy away from feeling the need to prove myself in any format. You can believe me or not believe me, but I promise you that I don't take this work lightly, and I would not, certainly not, have a podcast and put my own video clips and do live readings, excuse me, on my podcast if I didn't believe in this work. If I thought I was a fraud, I wouldn't do that. So I guess I'm showing in other ways how I feel certified, but I get what you're getting at, Eli. I get what you're getting at. And then number 2, this is the business side of me. My business background is that, and by the way, Lilydale does this as well. They do certifications of mediums. They're in, I think, Western New York, upstate Western New York, I think. I can't remember. But you have to remember that all of these organizations are businesses with corporate goals. And you have to ask, why are you certifying mediums? What is your certification process? Because all of that is going to be influenced by the goals of these organizations. So I support Windbridge, so I'm going to put that one aside, but I am going to kind of attack a little bit, the Forever Family Foundation. And I know that what they do is very important and very helpful and very healing for a lot of people who have lost, I think it's loss of a child, if I remember correctly. So I don't want to minimize the impact of it, but I do want to give you maybe a different perspective on that institute, that organization, and why my team literally said, you're not getting certified by them. They've literally told me that. And it's because they have an agenda. And their agenda is that if you get certified, if you go through this process to get certified, and I don't know what that process is. I think I've heard it's very secretive. Number 1, isn't that a red flag? Isn't that a red flag that it's a secretive certification process? I don't know. Why wouldn't Windbridge Institute publishes a whole thing of how they certify their mediums, but Forever Family Foundation doesn't. You got to email somebody to even start the process. There's not even an online form. So they keep their certification process secret. I'm sure it's very good. I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt there. But then once you get approved and you are certified as a medium on there, it's not just hoo-ha, I'm done, right? The stipulation is, if you get certified by them, you have to donate yourself for free readings for a certain time period. I can't remember. I think it's 5. I can't remember. I'm not even going to say it because it's wrong. But you essentially have to donate free readings to clients, to people who have asked for free readings that can't afford mediumship readings. On the surface, I love that. I freaking love that. I think that's amazing. I donate my services here on the podcast if I'm walking around, or if I have a friend or a friend of a friend that really needs a reading. I'm okay donating my services for people who I deem need it, but I shouldn't have to agree to donate my services because I've been through a certification process with this organization. So essentially what it does, the certification process, is ties you to this organization and requires you to donate. So you're being voluntold, not volunteered, voluntold, to donate your services to people who are going through the foundation that I'm just going to say need the reading, because I don't know how else to describe it. Is that ethical? Is that do I want to be associated with an organization that does it that way? Again, at all of the surface levels, it checks the boxes, but the fact that this organization, which is a nonprofit and clearly getting donations, and they host big events, and me as a medium would have to donate all of my services for free for an organization that has money coming in the door. I just don't know. I don't, my spidey business senses say I can't go through the certification process with this organization because to me, it doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel right. And I think that is the bottom line of a lot of the certification processes for me at this point in my career, and maybe this will change. It doesn't feel right to go through these certification processes, because then I'm jumping into the mindset that I need to prove what I do is real. And then that takes my own empowerment away from myself. So at this point in my career, I'm out. Like, I'll donate my services, but I'm going to do it in my way with my people that I feel need it. So I guess that's my response, Eli. So I'm probably throwing myself under the bus, and I'm sure that a lot of people are like, "You're an idiot," and I probably am. But at this point, I'm just gonna go with what I'm feeling. All right, I'll do one more question for this one. Well, I guess two. No, I guess I'm gonna finish this out really quick. So Be Positive over on YouTube sent me a little note, and she said, "You have amazing energy. Thank you, girl. My question is, how do I get past my fears in order to do this work? It's 2 a.m. I literally downloaded your connecting guide. Thank you. That's one of my freebies on my website. And Alexa, out of the blue, immediately says, I don't know how to help you with this." Yikes. I love it. So Be Positive. This is something that I teach in my foundational class, as well as kind of the beginning of my mediumship class, that there is nothing to be afraid of in this work. And I know that we have been conditioned to talk and believe that the devil exists, that hell exists, that demons exist, right? And that, people, I'm going to say, are very misinformed about what is out there and what we can connect to it. And I do believe that there's things out there that I don't want to work with, I'm going to call them lower vibrational energies. I don't think they're evil. I don't think evil exists. But I will say that when you're doing this work, you're setting the intention to connect with higher vibration beings, souls, so you never end up connecting with low vibration entities. So that's how you really get past your fear, is just trusting that your team has your back, and knowing that if you ever feel unsafe, you call in your guides, you call in your archangels, you call in your deity of choice, and they will come in and save the day and take that anything that you're afraid of out. And I've never ever had an issue with it. Like I do think that lower entities exist, but I'm flying so high that they can't touch me. So that's kind of how I would say you gotta trust that your team has you. And that's why when I start my classes, I explain all of this stuff, so that fear, we push it past it, because fear will hold you back. And if you don't get over the fear, you're not going to be able to do this work. Sorry, you're just not. So yeah, that's going to be something you're going to have to deal with if you want to do this work. So I hope that helps. Margaret over on YouTube, my lovely Margaret, hey girl, asked, is the soul alignment reading the same as an Akashic reading? So yes, it is. I had a whole bunch of different service offerings out there. I think I had Spirit Guide. I had I had the Akashic Records. I think there was one more before. And what ended up happening is these just naturally merged together, because your guides are kind of like in the Akashic, and then so I just combined them all into a soul alignment reading. So I will naturally tap into your Akashic Records in that reading, but I may have your loved ones deliver the message. I may have your guide deliver the message. I may have your Akashic team deliver the message. But yeah, it's essentially the same thing. But I just wanted to kind of bring it up a level, because I'm just finding that a lot of people don't understand the differences in modalities, and a lot of people book something and they booked the wrong thing. So I wanted to make it simple for all of you. So yes, Margaret, I hope that answers your question. It is an Akashic reading, but if you want to chat with a spirit guide or meet a spirit guide, you can do that in that session as well. Okay. And then I just want to take a minute to thank all of you, because I asked a little bit ago, what do you do when you, what do you do? So those of you who are listening, interacting with my posts on social media, I asked, what do you do for a career? What do you do? And I love the answers so much. I hope you don't mind me reading them out, because it really intrigued me, and it really proved to me that this spiritual stuff is not for the birds, it's for everybody. So here are the responses. I didn't get too many, but that's okay. I still love the answers that I got. So here we go. So I got an architect, a retired civil service employee, a female veteran, a banking operations AVP, a pharmacy manager, an interior designer, hairstylist, paralegal, high school counselor, homemaker, medical receptionist, nurse practitioner, IT project manager, and then my personal favorite was the Italian mafia. That was from my dear friend, Frank. Thanks, Frank. But thank you for responding, because I just found it so interesting to see what careers you were all in as you listen to my videos and as we talk about the spirit world. And I love that, hearing how diverse all of you are and your backgrounds. And I just love that spirit brings us all together in this amazing goodness. So thank you to all of you. Those are all the questions I had for today, but I want to thank you all for being here. I appreciate it. If you have more questions, again, toss them into my website form, mediumnicole.com. Click on Empower Your Soul podcast, and the form's right there. I would love, love, love to answer any questions you have. And that's all I had for today. Take care, everyone. Have a wonderful day.